Hey everybody, I'm Scott Wikle. You're listening to My Kind of Country. Oh, a few weeks ago we had a great album feature from Shane Owens, his newest album called Thankful for Country Music. And we've had great response from that, and we've been playing the songs from it. And we've got Shane back on the show again tonight. We're going to talk a little bit more about his career and his life and share some great stories with you. So it's an honor once again to welcome Shane Owens to My Kind of Country. Shane, how you doing tonight?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having us back on. It's always an honor.
Oh man, it's a pleasure. We really enjoyed doing the album feature, and we've been playing a lot of the songs, and folks are just loving what you're doing. And I know that Hard Luck Girl's been doing great for you, and so many fantastic songs on this project.
We talked a little while back. We're excited about this album. It's traditional country music. Plenty of steel guitar and fiddle. And I think a lot of people are starving for that sound out there across the United States, and we're living proof that we're keeping traditional country music alive.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. Well, you're originally from Alabama. Tell me a little bit about growing up and how you got into the wonderful world of country music.
Well, I grew up down here in a little town in Alabama called Sampson, Alabama. We love to hunt and fish, and we love our Friday night football. I grew up playing baseball and football, and small town living, man. You know how it is. There wasn't a whole lot to do, so we had to make our own fun. We love to hunt and fish, and like I say, I grew up singing gospel music in church. My grandmother was one of my biggest influences. She played the piano in church, and I think a lot of country artists have a gospel background, and I really learned a lot from her. Like I said, she's one of my biggest influences, and I've always just been a traditional country music, a huge fan of traditional country music.
Well, amen to that. And so when did you start playing professionally?
Well, my mom and dad made the horrible mistake of getting me a set of drums when I was 7. I just drove them out of the house. I learned quick that wasn't the instrument for me. I give mom and dad a headache now. I beat those things. I beat the stew out of those things, and I thought I wanted to be a drummer, and I didn't really. My first love was football and baseball, and I lettered in both of those sports for 4 years in school, and I didn't really get into the music business until trying to do it on my own until after I graduated, and I started a little band up. We started playing the honky tonks and the clubs and grooming ourselves and learning how tough it was to break into the business.
Yeah, it's I've often heard it said that music feeds the soul, but the music business does not.
Well, you've got to have a lot of talent, and we thank the good Lord above for that. But you've got to be lucky as well. And I tell you, it's a struggle. You don't just pack up and go to Nashville thinking you're going to be a star overnight, because it don't happen that way. You've got to work for it, and it's took us quite a while. But I wouldn't have done it any other way. You got a lot of reality shows nowadays that you didn't have when I started out that help, and then it's just a grind. You gotta believe and keep your head above water and just keep writing music and do it because you love it.
Absolutely, you're right about that. We released your first CD, It's a Southern Thing, and then, man, you had a lot of recognition that came pretty darn quick after that. I know you were on the CMA Music Festival and Jamboree in the Hills, and you also played the Grand Ole Opry, too, right?
We're working on our 4th time being at the Opry, and it's such a blessing. I think that's something every country music artist dreams of, whether you sell a million, billion records or not. If you can tell people you played the Opry, I mean, that's just like the mother church of country music. That's the ultimate to me, and to be able to go back and soon be playing it for our 4th time, it's just unbelievable. You always dream about putting records out and touring, but the Opry is the cream of the, it's the cream of the crop for me.
Well, tell me the first time you were on the Opry. Who introduced you, and what song did you sing?
Well, I sung a song. I've actually sung 2 songs off the Where I'm Coming From album, God and the Ground She Walked On, and All of Beer in Alabama, which I was a writer on, and Bill Anderson brought me on. I was there with Charlie Pride that night, Ricky Skaggs, and, I hardly ever get nervous before a show, but, when you go out there and you stand in that circle where so many I'm talking great, legendary artists have stood and sang, and the place was packed, all the cameras are going off, and you can't help but get butterflies. I've got to admit, I was pretty nervous.
Yeah, that's the play. That's still the place, you know. And but I tell you, those the artists that you mentioned, they're very welcoming, and I know that they especially really dig the new songwriters, and they like working with artists that are coming up and doing real good traditional country music. So kudos to you, man. That's great.
Well, thank you. You know, we've had the opportunity to be on the road with so many different artists, from John Conley to the late Billy Joel Royal, to Toby Keith, to Travis Tritt. We've played with so many different artists, and you know, you learn coming up through the years. If you watch those people that's doing it for a long time, you can learn a lot. You know, the way they groom themselves and the way they, I think that's one thing about country music is always a mutual respect. Nobody is out there trying to one up on the other, and we're one big happy family, all the artists.
Absolutely, and country folks take care of their fans too. You know, I've watched some of the biggest names, come out and sign autographs and do pictures and whatever after shows, and I think that fan connection is just something that you'll have for a lifetime. Once you got a country music fan, man, they're with you forever.
You know, I think that all leads back to what we were talking about earlier. You know, it's all in your raising. You have mutual respect. I think the world needs a lot more love and respect for one another. And I don't know of any country artist that don't get out there and go above and beyond, because we owe that to people like you at radio, and we owe that to all our fans that believe in what we're doing. You know, it's a mutual respect between the artist and fans and radio.
Absolutely. Yep. It's all we're all kind of one big happy family, and it's enjoyable. The best thing to me with I've done radio, I've been in retail, music retail, played in a band for 25 years, and the common factor for me is all the great people that you get to meet and all those wonderful experiences, and you make lifelong friends through music, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. If you'd have told me, when I first started to pursue this career, that I was going to be able to play the Opry and hang out with people like Charlie Pride and personally know Tanya Tucker and all these blessings the good Lord bestowed upon us, I probably would have said, man, you took the wrong road. But I'm living proof, man. If you keep your nose clean and you believe in doing the right thing, and you believe in working hard and having a good work ethic, and you believe in your music, and you can certainly, if you believe in yourself, you can do anything.
Amen to that. You've received some great accolades. I know Music Row voted you the Independent Artist of the Year for 2018. And Cracker Barrel included a couple of your songs on their Country Faith America series. And I think that's so great.
Yeah, I can't. It's like I said earlier, we count our blessings every day. We've been so blessed. I was a Country Breakouts Artist, the 2018 Independent Artist of the Year. We played, like I said, the Opry, and we've got so many other different awards, and big on some of the biggest stages with some of the biggest acts in the business. When you go out there and play in front of 100,000 people in Belmont, Ohio, at Jamboree in the Hills, I mean, if that don't crank your tractor, there ain't nothing that will.
That's right. Amen to that. One of my favorite shows, and I love Sam Elliott. I've binge watched this thing on Netflix, and that's The Ranch. And your song "Country Never Goes Out of Style" was featured in that series.
It was, that was a blessing in itself as well. And my mom, she, bless her heart, she's a huge Sam Elliott fan, and she said, well, son, she wasn't even, you've done the Opry, that's okay, and you've done this, but now Sam Elliott's listening to Country Never Goes Out of Style. I think you kind of sort of made it.
There you go.
I'm like, thanks, Mom.
The measure of success. If Sam Elliott gives you a thumbs up, you're good.
Yeah, she always said she was going to marry him one day, and it didn't happen, so.
Man, you talk about people that don't age. It's you got Dick Clark and all these guys that never seem to age, and Sam Elliott's one of them. He's like 120 years old, and he looks just exactly like he did years ago.
Yeah, with $1 million voice.
Yeah, absolutely. Great series. When that song came on, I knew exactly who that was. I'm like, that is so cool. And it was not too long after you were on the show, and we did a feature on that album. And I thought, man, that's really cool. I was so glad for you.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, we've really been blessed, and if it weren't for guys like yourself and everybody believing in what we're doing, we couldn't do it. I consider myself a real lucky, humble country music singer from down here in wee little parts of Alabama.
Amen to that. No worries about being Southern, man. That's some of the best people in the world right there, you know?
Well, I couldn't fake it if I tried, so I better stick with it.
That's right. Folks, you could go to ShaneOwensCountryMusic.com and pick up his latest album, is Thankful for Country Music, and of course his other great music as well, and to read up on his career and follow where he's going to be and go see him in concert if you get a chance to do that. And Shane, what's coming up this year as you move forward promoting this new project?
Well, we're filling the calendar up with dates, which is important. You know, we want to keep the band busy. We're constantly writing out on the road. I'm constantly writing when I'm off the road here at home. You know, we're looking forward to CRS, which is always a huge week. We've got 4 or 5 different shows lined up there. You know, we're doing the Midnight Jamboree that goes out nationwide on that Saturday. Going to finish up the week there, and you know, we're going to be headlining the grassroots thing there. Concert there, so we got a lot going on. We're looking forward to CRS, but mainly we're looking forward to getting out there and shaking everybody's hands at these shows and shaking everybody's hands at radio and letting them know how thankful we are that they believe in what we're doing.
Man, that's fantastic. And you mentioned the Ernest Tubb Midnight Jamboree, one of my very favorite shows. David McCormick, I've known him since I was a kid, and you talk about a tradition in country music. You know, the Grand Ole Opry and the Ernest Tubb Midnight Jamboree go hand in hand, and I'm so glad you're going to get a chance to host that. That's cool.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that, man. It's going to be a great week, and you know, like I said, we can't thank you guys enough for what you do for us.
Well, it's my honor, and anything we can do to help promote, we're glad to do it. And we're going to play some more of your great music, and I want to thank you so much again for coming back to the show, and I wish you the best. And we'll be tuned into the Midnight Jamboree to hear. I believe that's February 22nd. Is that right?
Yes, sir, that's right. Y'all tune in, and we'll be keeping it country till the end.
All right, sounds great. That is Shane Owens on My Kind of Country. Here's some of Shane's great music for you. ShaneOwensCountryMusic.com is the website, folks. Check it out. Shane, thanks again for being on the show.
Thank you, brother.
I'm still wearing Wranglers, boots, and a John Deere hat. My daddy and his daddy all dressed like that. You can watch that fashion scene, you'll see the latest thing, only last a little while. But country never goes out of style. I drive an old Ford pickup, circa 1969. When Papa passed away, Mama told me it was mine. I tuned up that engine, rebuilt that old transmission, ain't never touched that radio dial. 'Cause country never goes out of style. It may be old-fashioned, but it don't get old. Life's a little smoother down the gravel road. Let the whole world keep on changing, we'll all just be a-hanging outside of town a couple miles. 'Cause country never goes out of style. I got some blackberry wine, a blanket, and 2 cane poles. Got a date with my darling down at the honey hole. Then we'll make some homemade ice cream, some magic on that porch swing, lay back and count the stars a while. Oh, country never goes out of style. It may be old-fashioned, but it don't get old. Life They'll all just be hanging outside of town a couple of miles. 'Cause country never goes out of style. Oh, country never goes out of style.